We're back in Minneapolis at the Metrodome, continuing with championship monster truck eliminations in the USHRA Association Monster Truck Challenge Series. And here's the war everybody has waited for. It'll be Dennis Anderson's incredible Gravedigger 50 Chevrolet from North Carolina taking on the underdog of this event, number 8 qualifier, Jim Tomes and the barely tame Ford from Minnesota, advancing at the expense of an injured Rob Fuchs in the First Blood Ford in round number 1. Anderson took a relatively easy run in round number 1 to advance to this semifinal round, but right now it's going to have to take the upset of the entire year for Tomes to get around the Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger 1950 Chevrolet has the crowd behind him wherever he runs. Both trucks now staging up. The crowd is literally on the edge of their seats for what could be the greatest single round of racing we've seen this year. Anderson using both driving ability and a load of horsepower to advance just this far. They are staged and ready. RPM's up. Wheels up. Launch for the Gravedigger. And it's not even close. Tomes falls way behind as Anderson slides the Gravedigger conveniently into the final round. And here's the war everybody has waited for. The number 1 versus number 3 qualifiers. A battle in which there is no love. World champion Fred Shaver in the Barefoot Chevrolet in the far lane takes on the king of all, the original Bigfoot Ford with Andy Brass at the wheel of the best-known machine in four-wheel motorsports, Bob Chandler's incredible Bigfoot supercharged Ford. A machine that may well be the most popular in the history of motorsports, known worldwide. Now stages up. The Ford qualified number 1. Shaver in the number 3 spot. Both advanced easily through the first round. But one thing's for sure, anybody that lines up alongside Fred Shaver has to remember that they are facing what is easily the most powerful monster truck ever built. You get a good chance to look at the incredible amount of safety equipment now worn, most of it mandatorily by drivers in the USHRA Association Camel Series. A 5-point belt system, 2 lap belts, 2 shoulder harnesses, and of course the mandatory submarine strap. And the incredibly heavy-duty neck brace used by these drivers. Under USHRA Association rules, these machines must weigh a minimum of 10,000 pounds with the driver. But Fred Shaver probably has a higher horsepower to weight ratio than anybody else. They leave the line, but problems for the Barefoot Chevrolet almost immediately. Look at Brass on the brakes trying to stop the Bigfoot Ford. An incredible flight that will put the Bigfoot team machine into the championship final round to present the fans with the ultimate showdown. Bigfoot versus the Gravedigger. The ultimate Ford and Chevrolet match in an all-out war. You can bet this one is far from over. Don't you dare go away when we come back. Bigfoot versus Gravedigger. We're back at the Spectrum in Philadelphia with 2 more championship 2-wheel drive pulling machines yet to run on this 135-foot course. So far, the very first man down the track, Wayne Sullivan's Tough Cookie Chevy S10 leads. But here is the current killer in the category. Wayne Rouse with his original bright yellow 1923 T-Roadster with supercharged Chrysler Hemi power. Easing into the throttle, Rouse now starts to hook up. Incredible! And here's the number, 134 feet, 11 inches. 1 inch from the 135-foot finish line. It's going to take, quite simply, a full pull to win this event. This is the flashback 1989 Chevy S10 of Chris Huff, the home state hitter from Alberton, Pennsylvania. Almost to the finish line. He's right on the line. Huff pulls. 134 feet, 11.5 inches. Absolutely one of the most incredible pulling battles we have ever witnessed. And we are ready for what has to be described simply as an all-out war. The Gravedigger Chevrolet of Dennis Anderson, that qualified number 2 in this field, takes on the pole sitter, the quickest and fastest machine in qualifying and through the elimination rounds, Andy Brass and the incredible Bigfoot Ford. Staged and ready, waiting for the green light to flash. They leave the line together, maybe a slight advantage by Bigfoot. Unbelievable finish. And it looks like the Bigfoot Ford may have pulled out the victory. But looking at the replay, wait a minute. It looks like the Bigfoot Ford may have left a fraction of a second before the green light came on. Indeed, it is a red light start, and the word is coming to us from the USHRA Association officials. The Gravedigger Chevrolet of Dennis Anderson is officially the winner. A foul start, believe it or not, by 0.08 of a second for Andy Brass and the Bigfoot Ford. Unbelievable. The war continues, but this round goes to the Chevrolet from North Carolina. And Dennis Anderson, you've got to be thrilled. It's a bizarre way to take a win, but it's a win nonetheless.
Yeah, it is. You know, I wasn't for sure if Andy red light. I thought he did roll out before I did. I didn't take a second take to look. I just hammered on it, and when we got down the finish line there, I knew he was right there with me, so I wasn't really sure.
Well, as we pointed out when you got out of the truck, I think the margin of distance between you and Bigfoot at the finish line was probably directly proportionate to the amount that he rolled out, so it would have been a war, even if it was a fair start.
Right, exactly. You know, I've been battling out of that right lane all night long. That was the lane I wanted. Andy qualified a little faster than I did. I had to take that left lane, but I gave it my best shot.
And your best shot ended up being more than enough. Well, over in the Bigfoot camp, Andy Brass is obviously disappointed. But, Andy, if you weren't trying to beat the man, that would have never happened.
Yeah, it was. You know, we have bent the bar the round before, and I was out trying to get the bar fixed, and all. So I had my adrenaline really going and tried to get the bar done. We got it in. I probably should have sat up there before the line and just took a couple minutes to myself and mellowed out a little bit. You know, I was a little anxious getting in the line. I knew we was going to have to play the light real good. Dennis is running good times, you know, so it was going to be a real close race, and especially in this short of a course, they don't give you much, and the light's the big thing, and we just blew it.
Well, indeed. Andy Brass will be back with the Bigfoot team. Even though this loss may have set him back, he's still considered number 1 by most of the country. The incredible flashback Chevrolet, needing a pull of 134 feet, 11 inches to win the event, pulls off one of the narrowest margins of victory we have ever witnessed.
That wraps up our two-wheel drive pulling competition. The flashback Chevy S10 driven by Chris Hoke. He is the grand champion here at the Spectrum.
Well, Andy Brass definitely knows that he can bounce back with Bigfoot, and so does Fred Schaefer, who went out in the semifinals with Barefoot having transmission problems. Dennis Anderson may have come out king of the hill at this one, but the war is far from over. Thanks for being with us. I'm Brett Gubner.